President Trump speaks to Congress and the nation tonight on his view of the State of the Union. White House officials say that he will tout economic progress and call for bipartisan agreement on immigration. House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy says Republicans hope for a strong message.
The number one question I want the president to ask tonight to the American people: are you better off today than you were 2 years ago? Because I think that answer could be very strong to probably put partisanship aside and have other people start working with us so we can solve the other problems that are before us.
Democrats, in turn, say the country is more divided than ever. And Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says credit for economic progress should go to the last president.
The president thinks our economic recovery is all thanks to him, when reality is that he owes a lot of it to Barack Obama. Two words I don't think we'll hear tonight on the economy: thanks, Obama. Second, we expect the president to talk about bipartisanship. But throughout his time in office, he has failed to walk the walk.
Massachusetts Congressman Joe Kennedy, grandson of the late Senator Robert F. Kennedy, will deliver the official Democratic response. And I'm joined now by White House correspondent Yamiche Alcindor and our Capitol Hill correspondent Lisa Desjardins for a look ahead to tonight's speech from both ends of Pennsylvania Avenue. Hello to both of you. Yamiche, you are outdoors. I'm going to go to you first. What are you hearing about what the president's going to say?
Well, a White House official tells me that the speech is going to be about 50 minutes and that several people worked on the speech, including H.R. McMaster, the National Security Advisor, Gary Cohn, the Chief Economic Advisor, Stephen Miller, as well as Vice President Mike Pence. The theme is supposed to be building a safe, strong, and proud America. He's supposed to be talking about several topics, including immigration, national security, jobs, infrastructure, and trade. And some of the guests that the White House is bringing is really going to bring home that point. They're bringing people that have benefited from the Republican tax plan. They're also going to be bringing somebody who adopted a child that was affected by the opioid crisis.
And Yamiche, you were telling us that it's notable what the president is not expected to talk about.
The president is not expected to talk about some of the main issues that Americans are speaking about, and that is the Me Too movement and sexual harassment all across this country. He's also not supposed to be talking about the Russia investigation and Robert Mueller. Of course, there's been so many reports out there that he might be trying to fire the special investigator. That he's also not supposed to be talking about the spike in hate crimes. There's a lot of division in the country with race relations and people talking about that all the time. But the president said in a lunch with me that me and you attended this afternoon that he wants to unify the country. So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not he can do that. He said that usually major events, catastrophic events essentially, are what bring Americans together, but he wants to do that without having Americans suffer.
That's right, and he also commented at that lunch on what he'd learned as president about having it's important to have heart as well as being concerned about money, which was an interesting comment. Lisa, to you now, this State of the Union address comes at a time of, I guess you'd have to say, some high-stakes decisions that are about to be made in Congress. Are Republicans looking to the president to help get some legislation they want passed done?
Absolutely, and I think that touches on the sort of strange dynamic I feel tonight. I've covered many State of the Union addresses, but this one, the drama is not the speech. The drama are the deadlines that Congress faces to pass an immigration bill in the Senate by next week. Also to have a budget deal, much less a president who seems to be at war to some degree with the FBI over a Russia investigation. Those things are day-to-day here at the Capitol. This is something that Republicans think will not be affected by the speech. What they want from this president is for him to be presidential, to be moderate, the things the White House indicates it's doing. So to some degree, Judy, expectations for Republicans are low to middle range. They're setting those expectations that way so that the president can overcome them. But this speech also presents a problem for Republicans, Judy. They have a real divide on immigration. Today, Representative Paul Gosar of Arizona asked the Capitol Police to ask for identification of every guest tonight, and if they find someone who is an undocumented immigrant here, as there will be many guests tonight, he has asked Capitol Police to remove them and arrest them. That is different from other Republicans, including Republican Carlos Curbelo, who has invited an undocumented dreamer, someone they have a status, but it shows the divide here for Republicans in this speech and time right now.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens. And Lisa, what about the Democrats? We know many of them are not happy with this president. Some of them, I guess, are not planning to attend. Some of them are going to wear various colors to show their displeasure. What are they looking for?
Well, take what Yamiche told you about the things the president is not talking about, the Me Too movement, for example. Those are the things, and the Russia investigation, Russia sanctions, those are the things that Democrats are talking about today. Those are the things they're challenging him on. You will see a lot of Democrats, especially women, Nancy Pelosi wearing black tonight to support the Me Too movement. You will see red buttons. Those are for Reese Taylor. It's the woman that Oprah mentioned at the Golden Globes who was gang raped, African-American woman in the 1940s. Sort of this idea of bringing up minority and women's issues is something you're going to see from Democrats tonight.
Well, both of you are going to be with us for the rest of the night, and we look forward to it. Thank you, Yamiche and Lisa.